Welcome back to Minute Anime, and today we are recapping the 5th episode of Am I Actually the Strongest? The previous episodes are listed in the playlist section along with other entertaining animes. Now let's see what Haruto is planning to do with his biological mother who has been going after his stepsister, and what her fate would be. In the royal castle, the soldiers inform the queen of failing in assassinating Charlotte because of the Black Knight. The queen enrages and splashes him with her drink in his face. She is sick of their failings. They failed to assassinate Charlotte 3 times. The queen is worried that Charlotte is going to overpower her. She grabs her sword, the same sword she used to kill the Demon King, declaring that she is going to do it herself. The Black Knight's voice breaks the silence, stating his existence. The queen's soldiers grab their swords. Immediately, with a glance of an eye, Haruto uses his magic, and they all lose consciousness. The queen wonders how he passed the multiple layers of barriers. Haruto shows off saying that he tore them down. The queen teased by his carriage and dueling her. She casts magic, a 3-layered magic circle, a water ball appears, and Haruto gets trapped in it. The queen thinks that she finished him and that he will drown to death. Easily, Haruto uses his magic and manifests a landscape, which helps him get out of the water ball. The queen attacks him with a pointed shape of ice. Haruto, with no effort, protects himself with a wall of barrier magic. When the pointed ice does not affect him, the queen leashes a fire attack on him, wishing he will burn to death. She holds her fire, but to her surprise she finds Haruto is unharmed. She questions his abilities and powers. Haruto does not give her time to think, he attacks her with his magic power. She barely feels it coming, barely blocking it in the last second. Haruto decides to attack her more seriously. He begins shooting her with many magic strikes at once. The queen blocks it, questioning his real powers, seeming to be more powerful than the Demon King himself. She starts getting out of energy, so she decides to attack with her swords. She points a quick strike, but Haruto acts quicker, draws his sword, and counteracts her attack. The queen points multiple quick attacks, but Haruto blocks each one of them. With all the energy left, the queen strikes him, and Haruto blocks it, but loses balance and falls while parrying the queen's sword. She declares that she is the strongest in the world and no one has ever been a match for her sword. With an obvious underestimation, Haruto strikes and drops her sword out of her hands. Unarmed and scared, she stands in front of Haruto, waiting for her inevitable punishment. He ties the queen with an iron collar around her neck. The queen falls to the ground. He threatens her that her head will roll if she tries to take it off. In anger, she states that whatever he wants she does not care. Haruto shows his intentions. He wants her to stay away from Gold's family, which means his own family, and to leave them in their territory to be. He lastly reminds her of her fate if she does not obey, which is absolute and inevitable death. He then leaves her and exits the hall, leaving her humiliated on the ground, questioning her status. On his way out with Flay, who was waiting for him outside, she compliments his powers. Haruto informs her that he will have no mercy next time. But will the queen back off and leave them to be? 5 years pass in peace. Through the 5 years, the queen has been away from them, not daring to harm any one of the family members. Haruto's companions, Flay and Charlotte, are playing with the snow. They make a snowman, and Charlotte shows Haruto her little piece of art. But Flay overcomes her by making their castle out of snow, which amazes Haruto. However, he notices Flay exposed clothes, so he wonders why put on extra layers and keep herself warm. Flay explains that these clothes are the ones he liked, and she is not changing them. That makes him question her if she does not feel cold. Flay responds that she is not, but at the same time, she is shivering out of the cold. Haruto uses his magic, covers her with warm clothes, and tells her to ask him if she has any requests. Flay responds right away that she has 10 requests. Ironically, he refuses them all before she even talks about them. Charlotte approaches her brother and asks for something. She asks him to do a unique move, and she tells him the steps to do it. He agrees, which enrages Flay. He takes a couple of steps away from them, creates a small storm and follows it with a line that Charlotte made up, then hits it to the ground, making a huge hole in the ground. His parents appear, asking what has happened. Haruto gets nervous, afraid of hitting exposed. So, he makes a clone out of the Black Knight. Then, Haruto points at the Black Knight clone, saying that he did so, and the Black Knight flies. Haruto explains that the Black Knight was passing by and decided to show them his powers. Charlotte agrees to what he said, saving him. Flay and Charlotte resume playing, while Haruto approaches his father and asks him about any recent incidents. Luckily, there has not been any for so long, and the queen stopped going after Charlotte. The queen has not been seen in public for 5 years, and rumors have been going in the kingdom that the queen has an iron collar. Firstly, the rumors said it's some kind of accessory. But she has been wearing it for so long, that led to believe that she might wear it by mistake, and she is not capable of getting rid of it, or it might be a curse. Nonetheless, they are living in peace now. And Haruto can finally live the life he wants, play video games, and binge anime. He attempts to sneak to his room while everybody is busy playing with snow. Suddenly, Gold mentions that Haruto has to attend a school in the capital starting in spring. Haruto refuses. Gold tells him that he does not have a choice. What does Gold mean that they do not have a choice? In Gold's office in the castle, Haruto learns that his father received an invitation letter from the king himself. Gold does not know the reason or the intentions of the king. But they can't disobey him. To make things worse, the prince also is going to attend the same school. Haruto finds no choice but to attend the school, so he informs his father of his acceptance. Gold states that Haruto needs an attendant as he cannot live alone there, which would be hard for him. And for sure Flay is not an option as she might cause him troubles in the capital. Surprisingly, the mother has been listening to them the whole time. She interferes and offers to join him and take care of him. Both Gold and Haruto refuse it. Anyway, Haruto still has 3 months till school starts. Will Haruto really go to school along with the big-headed prince, and waste his time instead of playing video games and living his wished calm life? Haruto thinks of a way to not attend school. He comes up with the idea of sending his clone. His clone can use no magic, so he would not be able to keep up with the classes and eventually will get kicked. When he faces the clone refuses, suggesting to Haruto to do it himself. Haruto refuses to do so as he might lose his temper or use his magic in mistake and get exposed. The clone understands what Haruto exactly means. The clone might get beaten by some other students, and he won't be able to fight back. So, the clone loses his temper. Haruto calms him down and offers to protect him with barrier magic, so he doesn't get hurt even if someone beats him up. As the clone has no choice, he agrees. A couple of months later the winter passes and the spring shows up. Haruto spends his time in a cabinet far away from the castle. Spending his time in peace, playing video games, and watching anime. Although he is far from the castle, his sister Charlotte keeps visiting him. Charlotte comes to watch anime, while Flay cleans the room. After finishing the episode, Charlotte informs Haruto that she is not able to visit him regularly because of her classes. Haruto comes up with the idea of using portals between the castle and his cabinet for her to instantly teleport. Haruto succeeds in making the portals, but he has not tested it on humans yet. Flay suggests he use it on his clone. Haruto opens a portal between his room and his new house and asks the poor clone to cross through it. But as long as the clone has the same mindset as the real Haruto, he understands that Haruto wants to test the portals on him. The clone offers the real Haruto to cross through it himself and calls him a coward. That triggers Flay's anger. Without hesitation she crosses through the portal, attacks the clone, then throws him through the portal and follows him, causing surprise to Haruto, leaving him to wonder about her IQ. Haruto finishes the portals by building up a door in the cabinet. And now, Charlotte can come to visit her brother anytime. With all those settled, Haruto finally remembers the ultimate task before going find an attendant very soon. Who will he choose? And what is the queen up to? Subscribe to the channel to know. Don't forget to like the video. And see you in the next recap video.